Live. Oh, we are live.
Hello, everyone.
I didn't think we were live there for a minute.
I'm having some technical issues tonight, as you can tell. I don't think you even saw the intro, so I'm not quite sure what's happening.
It played on our end, but I don't know.
So welcome to Twillow Talk. I'm Tanys Coughlan for the Twillow Lifestyle Community, Twillow Lifestyle Academy, and I am joined by my beautiful co-host, Jennifer Jurkofsky.
Hi.
My holistic self. Yeah, we're having some trouble with StreamYard.
Yeah, isn't working. It's not hooking up to Facebook. It's being a little ridiculous, which then causes stress. So it's like, decompress.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway. So I'm going to ask Jen to go ahead and do her update first, please, Jen, while I get the space weather stuff ready for all of you, okay?
Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, so today we actually switched transits and we entered the gate 12, gene key 12, and this is moving us from the shadow of vanity to the gift of discrimination, and then, of course, the ultimate siddhi of purity. And so the energy of this gate really is about moving through expression and the vibration of expression. And so we want to recognize kind of the way that this energy moves forward. It's about how we want to bring forward truth in clarity, expression, allowing ourselves to be authentic with where we're at and how we're feeling and what is coming up for us. So this gate is also considered the standstill, and it's about releasing awareness in the proper spirit. So the idea here is, looking at how you're expressive, being able to bring forward what you're feeling and where you're at. In the shadow, it's about how am I being perceived? And so we get very caught up in expression through external validation and being in a performance kind of thing where everything gets a little bit more exaggerated emotionally, where we want that validation. There's a fear of judgment, over-identification with how we're being perceived. And it often will get us to be in a place of going, if I express myself correctly, then I'm going to be accepted. But if I don't express myself correctly, then that's not going to be the case, right? So the shadow gets very caught up in that energy. Where when we're able to move into the gift of discernment, it's about being able to know when we should be speaking up and when we shouldn't. It's about having that emotional clarity before we express it and being able to kind of refine that through the way that we're working through things. And so in the midst of all of the stress, these are things we have to work on when we're in that place, and being getting caught up and ready to share with you guys, admittedly, we're going through these things, trying to figure out what that looks like. So it was the exact transit in action going, holy shit, what is happening with the energy? And so part of this is really looking at, how can we communicate and be truthful and be able to kind of just slow down and listen to what it is that's going on, so that when we communicate, we can do it in a place of holding that space. So, it's about moving. Vanity moves us from how am I going to be received, to the discrimination, which is what is actually true in this moment. And then purity, if we can get into that siddhic energy, is allowing the truth to kind of just speak and come through in the situation. So reflection prompts for this. Where do I filter when I'm trying to make sure that I'm being that there's approval there? How does emotion influence what I'm saying? When I speak, am I clear about it? Where is it that I need to be silent versus saying something, right? Sometimes that quiet can be more powerful than talking. So just noticing those areas and how that shows up for you, and kind of like, what is your relationship with silence versus talking, right? Sometimes that's really uncomfortable. So just noticing that. And then the affirmation for this transit is, I allow my expression to arise from truth rather than perception. I speak with awareness, clarity, and care. And through sincerity, my voice becomes aligned with life. We're going to be in this energy until Saturday. We transit into the 15th. So we'll be in it for a couple days before next week's transit is revealed.
Well, and we have a lot of energies coming in. I had a message from the Federation yesterday that there's a lot of stuff that's sort of brewing to come out in disclosure. And they're there to support the energy. So we're going to have kind of an undulating thing. So like it'll lower because of what's coming out, and they're going to send in a pulse. So it's going to be kind of this sort of energy for the next few days, was what I was told. So definitely coming up for people in that way.
Yeah. So if you're in the undulation, just be mindful of it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So if I do this, then we see this. So it isn't showing up in our solar flares. It's not solar flares that are creating this for us. It's actually our on-earth stuff. And if we look at the KP again is fairly quiet. We did have some stuff over the weekend, but it's been fairly quiet. It's more our neutrinos that are coming in that are creating a bit of havoc, and some of the stuff that is going on with the disclosure and, humans being human. So that happens. As we all are. So even our Schumann is 15, which is still higher than our baseline, right? Our baseline is 7.8 hertz, but it's still not.
It's probably as low as it's been in a long time, though, because we don't.
Yeah, we tend to be sitting like around 30, between 30 and 60 lately. So that's still pretty calm, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's where we're at.
Yeah. Well, and, we're at that right now, but I think the history on the Schumann over the last little bit, there has been like some complete white. There's been a few complete blackouts. So just because today it's like, that doesn't mean that it hasn't been intense.
Yeah. It's definitely been intense.
Mm-hmm.
So we can say hello to a few people. Hello, Cody. Welcome. Thank you for sticking with us through our stuff. Appreciate your concern. It's just, stuff with the StreamYard.
Mm-hmm.
We have Kaylee.
Hey, Kaylee.
Paranoia is back with vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
Comfort and support. Good. That's needed.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Hypnocity.
Hey, Hypnocity. Yeah, thanks for sticking around.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. How have you guys been doing? I mean, Kaylee, you said it's been, pretty wild lately, but how is everybody feeling? Because it's definitely been a bit of a roller coaster over the last little while.
Mm-hmm. I know last week was rough. Well, last year was probably had its rough moments too, but really, I'm talking about last week. Last week was rough for me. It was one of those clearing weeks where we were getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff. And Nolani says emotionally exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that the busyness of life is a little, it's a lot. I know my weekend was really busy and it was great, but it was busy. Yeah. So Mondays are always a busy day for me too. So we get into that exhaustion, whether it's emotional, whether it's energetic, whether it's physical, or whether it's all of the above.
Mm-hmm.
We go in there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's interesting. I've been talking to clients a lot over the last little while too about biorhythms, right? Because if we know our own rhythms, then we're a little bit more, there's potential for us to be a little more gentle with ourselves when we're in those spaces of, oh, I just don't actually have capacity right now. And that is okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That capacity is definitely a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That sums it up. Yeah. That's showing yourself compassion, Nalani. So that's good, really.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Maybe it's not the day to clean today.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And it's important that, we honor that when we need to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So. So I had a speaking thing on the weekend and was speaking about Lead with Love. It was a great conference. Lots of wonderful people there. And, the themes there were themes throughout the conference, which I thought was interesting as well. Not planned ones, but the unlikely ones, But one thing I was really, I guess, pleased with was that people were very open there, more than I wasn't sure, And you were talking about how do you know where to mask and where not to, basically was what you were talking about, right? Being authentic and still showing up. And that is definitely a thing when you do those. Knowing how much to say and how much not to, and trusting the guides to let us know and all that stuff. Yeah, so it was fascinating. It was a lot of fun, though. It was a good show. Nalani says there's been too many of those days. I'm starting with small areas. I hear you.
Little bits at a time, for sure. Yeah. It's true, though, when we get into, especially like something where you're speaking, to people, you want it to land. You want to be able to have your message, go through, but then to know what's going to land or how that's going to be, we don't know what somebody else is going to be ready to hear or not. And so it is important, that kind of authentic piece. And I'm sure you've noticed, but like your messages come through when they're really heartfelt and people go, oh, I feel that. And they can feel that connection with you in what you're sharing.
Well, I think that's everybody, that's kind of the more that we can be that way, that openness, the more that will be how we connect in those situations. But it's not always received but I don't go in expecting. Somebody told me one time, don't go in expecting to speak to everybody, just speak to the one person, right? And if you can go in and impact one person, then, you're further ahead. You've done your job, sort of thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. Little wins along the way. Exactly. They go a long way. You can always plant seeds. Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I do find that authentic piece is such a value to what it is. And I remember when we were at the Woo and we were both going to be speaking, and I think we both got up and were like, yeah, I wrote something, I prepared something, but out the window it goes, because right now I'm being told to share this.
And that's exactly what happened to me on the weekend. So it's really forming that trust, with allowing that to be okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was though, everything was as it should be and as it was meant to be. So
yeah.
So it was good.
Good. So I am assuming that most people might be able to guess what you spoke about, considering you. But why don't you share a little bit about what you spoke about?
I spoke about lead with love and let love lead you. So, it was about, I ended up speaking about the energy behind it, which was not what I intended going in. I was going to be, keeping it to how love can be boundaries, love can be courage, love can be many, many things. It's not just that feeling in the heart. And we did a little exercise where I had them like close their eyes, relax the body, and then think of somebody or think of a situation that they were fearful. I was careful, of course, not to go, let's not go traumatic fear. Let's just go like public speaking fear. Was what I said. A couple little details. And then, we went into that and they felt what that was like in their body.
Mm-hmm.
And then now think about somebody that you really love. And how does that feel in your body? And so it was really bringing their attention to their body and how it changes and affects our body. So, and then how it affects the energy and what you can do, in your daily life and moving into in the workplace, for instance, even getting to know people's love languages in the workplace. I mean, you're not going to go and be all touchy-feely, but that person might appreciate the handshake if they're, if they're affection, physical affection. They might appreciate the handshake or the hand on the shoulder if they need support. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there's ways that you can speak to people even in a workplace setting that can give them that love without them feeling uncomfortable and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And like when I was managing, I would have chocolate in my office on Friday afternoons because it was Friday afternoons were our stress time. And so it was also a way to get them to come and talk to me if they needed anything.
They're going to come in for the chocolate, and while you're here.
Oh, you're here. How's it going? Oh my God. Have a seat. Let's chat. How can I support? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just, trying to capitalize on the love languages, the gift and the talking, connection. And so, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Welcome, Kiara. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks for being
nice to see you.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, some of that love sometimes can be bringing some levity to the situation, allowing, when it's appropriate, of course, but being able to kind of lighten the heaviness and things like that. And, I remember you sharing about some glasses that you kept around for such an occasion.
Yeah. Yeah, I had Groucho Marx glasses in my desk. This was before I had to wear these guys. But yeah, I had Groucho Marx glasses in my desk because, people would you'd feel being an empath, I would feel the energy. And I wouldn't necessarily, at that stage of my life, I didn't really necessarily understand what I was feeling, but I could tell that I was kind of uncomfortable. And I'm like, well, I need to do this for me. So I'm going to do it and we'll see what happens. It always ended up lightning. I would just put them on and walk down the hallway. Or go to the photocopier or go get a coffee with them on. So that was me.
But again, that's authentic expression, right? That was me. Yeah. It's how, the ways that we deal with different things, even for ourselves. And when we're allowing ourselves to be authentic in it, then we get to show up for other people. And then they get to have the joy of what that experience is too.
Yeah. Yeah. And we had a Founders Day at one of our things, and they would give out roses typically. So I'm like, okay, well, I think I should dress up as a clown and give out the roses. And so I did. And so that was well received for the most part.
For the most part. Hopefully it was all good.
But I was the boss, so they're not going to tell me that.
As long as nobody has an absolute fear of clowns.
No, we didn't have that. So it was good. It was good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And we had, this was not even when I was a manager. I was on a team, and Friday afternoons would be like same industry, right? So Friday afternoons would be this real panic time for everybody to get everything done, and nobody took their break on Friday afternoon in my team. And so I went to the dollar store one day. I was like, everybody was in a real slump. So I went to the dollar store and I got, margarita glasses and Hawaiian style decor stuff. And then I got fruit punch and crackers and stuff. And we had a Hawaiian day, and they couldn't get up from the phone because they were stuck on the phone. So I served them, mocktails and crackers while they were on the phone. And that went over well.
Yeah, I imagine that would.
They appreciated the fact that I was adapting to their lack of taking a break. It still didn't get them the chance to go to the washroom, but it was at least something.
Yeah, but all these like beautiful examples of leading with love, because it's that out of the box thinking, that ability to meet people where they're at, to bring different experiences in when things are a little chaotic.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I used to do. So I'm just bringing that forward, and of course we do the same thing in our relationships and all of that as well, and that's where we lead with love.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean the human side doesn't get the better of us, because it does. Absolutely. We're here to feel all the emotions. So just because we're leading with love doesn't mean we're not going to be frustrated with our coworker or our spouse or whatever, right?
Absolutely.
But we lead with love in this situation. So, and understanding and compassion, all that stuff.
And that doesn't mean like wishy-washy or, not boundaried. Like
no boundaries.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. There was a lot of talk of boundaries on the weekend.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, because again, I think that, we often get caught up in this idea of, here we are both in pink too. You get caught up in this idea of like love being this like, oh, it's pink, it's roses, it's, all this kind of stuff. But love is powerful. Like you think about, people talk about that like mama bear love, right? That protective love. That's, there's the nurturing side of love, but there is also that very fierce side that's equally important.
I try to remember that my moods affect what triggers me.
Absolutely.
Yep. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and your triggers affect your mood, so it's kind of like a chicken and egg thing.
It really can be. It really can be. And what we care about affects our mood and our triggers. When we care about somebody and then we go into a place of worry or fear, right, that triggers things for us.
Definitely. Yeah. Like that parent thing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to a thing when Morgan was little. This is pretty bit difficult for me to talk about, but I'm going to do it anyway. Mama bear mode. He was almost taken at Toys R Us, and so it was kind of a big thing for me. It was difficult at the time. So it created triggers for later on in terms of being mama bear. Those kinds of things, they can be. And that's what we talk about when we talk about those filters, right? We put filters on things from our experience. So I know that, I would be a little bit overprotective sometimes with him. And that was definitely my stuff from that particular instance. But it also, you see those things and when you don't even know that stuff exists,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, oh, and then you start to question yourself. And this is where you get into the self-doubt, right? If I didn't know that exists, what else is out there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? So then everything that you don't know about becomes
Mm-hmm.
a trigger. I think that's that speaks to what's happening, I think, around right now. People don't know. There's this sense of unease with everything. So I think we're getting into a lot of triggers in interactions with all sorts of people, even like at the mall or the grocery store, right? So
Yeah. So noticing where that might be heightened and giving some grace, taking those breaths.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Melanie says my cancer, my chart is a huge factor currently. I remind my husband that I might be a bit snarky.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, it did. Thank you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all is well. Thank
Yeah.
you.
But it's true, like those things that happen to us at different points along the way become, those memories that, in EMDR, I often talk about like our brain being a file room.
Mhm.
And generally speaking, every night our brain goes in and it files away most of the stuff that's happened. And generally it's like, okay, we're fine. And then we move on to the next kind of thing. But whenever we have anything significant that happens to us, the brain goes, ooh, this file's really important. And it leaves it out on the table in the middle of the file room because it wants to be able to guard us, to protect us from those things.
Yeah.
The problem is that then new experiences, if there's even a tiny bit of similarity, start getting filtered through all those files that are left out. And then we begin to build those experiences, and then that just reinforces the difficult beliefs and things like that we have. And so the more that we're able to notice that, the more we're able to go, oh, okay, this is that thing that's happening that happens to me. And, I want to do something different here. And so how do I, navigate that? How do I choose something different?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really sorry that happened, Cody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And unless we've had those kinds of experiences, we don't know what we don't know, like you said.
Yeah. Well, and I think that can be a big part of it too.
Mm-hmm.
When we don't know what to expect and we've never encountered something, there's almost more fear than when you're in the moment. But then, of course, it catches up with you after. But
yeah,
you just, I don't know. Maybe that's just who I am. I don't know. I kind of get into the moment and I'm like, let's take care of this and blah, blah, blah. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the adrenaline that kicks in that gets us through something sometimes. But yeah, I've definitely had those experiences. Like there's certain things I don't do. Like I can't even have conversations with people about things that are like dealing with injury and stuff. Like I'm just putting it out there, but I can't. Like I can't. But in the moment, if something happens, I can deal with it.
Yeah.
Right. And I've had those experiences, but then after the fact, I'm like, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to go there.
We're going to file that one way in the back of the filing cabinet.
Yeah. The kids will be having a conversation. I'm like, stop talking about that. So of course they talk about it more. So I'm like, la, 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 la.
I'm going to go listen to music over there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that's it. Like our brains get, and then we have a certain kind of, it physiologically brings things up in us. And then we're like, oh, now I'm really not okay. And it's like, well, okay, nothing has actually changed from this moment to that moment. And yet I feel like everything has. And then it's like, how do I handle that? How do we navigate that? Right? News that we get, things like that. Like if there's an immediate kind of change to our reality.
Mm-hmm. Melanie says her too. She was not a nurse for a good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Me too.
I'm okay with the mental health side of life. I don't want to get into the physical health side of life.
I was in home care for a while, but I got burnt out very quickly in the field. You know, being a physical empath, that's kind of a challenging one.
Yeah.
For sure. So, yep.
Yeah.
Or a doctor. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well,
I worked with a bunch of nurses, but I wasn't one. Lunchtime was fun. No.
I think on myself in those moments. I don't want to hear about what's happening. But the physical empath thing too, like that is such an important thing for us to recognize, especially in the midst of this energy, because the more that we're feeling things, right, the more we're going to be impacted, and the more we have to kind of go like, what is happening right now? And when you have two empaths together, we're just going to, unless one of us can go.
We're really good at that, guys.
Yes. Right. And then it's that moment of, okay, no, I love you. You love me. We're good.
Exactly.
Right. But it's true, because when there is stress, when there's pain, when there's any of those kinds of things, it's really easy as an empath, if you've got that Claire that's going to, you know, bring that forward, to get kind of caught up in that energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and even if we've done this work for lifetimes, right, we're still human and it still happens.
Yeah, because we're in these bodies and we experience them in the body.
Yeah.
And that part we're not used to. Just saying.
And the body, it's true, because the body picks up stuff. And then the brain, which is like a computer program, is trying to figure it out. It's trying to figure out why. And then what ends up happening is we start putting it through all of our filters, right, of all of the whys of something.
Yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, where did we go? Right. And noticing that, and then bringing it back. So.
Yeah.
Kira's gotta.
I worked with people with intellectual and developmental disabilities for about 18 years until recently. I've also been doing home care for 7 years. Both are very stressful at times. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Because the other thing about it is, you're being a physical empath, I'm feeling all of their stuff. When I was in the field, I was feeling all of their stuff physically as well. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have any idea at that time in my life what that even was. So I had no clue what was going on. I just knew that I was getting burnt out from it and didn't understand why.
Yeah.
So that was part of why I have continued with everything that I was doing, was because I was needing to manage it. Right. I had my first Reiki session. I'd never felt so good. And then I started to realize, oh, I didn't even know I could feel like that. Wait a minute.
Figured out everybody else's energy.
Oh, this is mine. Oh. Mine's not all that. Oh, yeah. Okay. I have my stuff, but it's not that 20 people's worth of stuff.
Yeah, it's wild how much we pick up and we don't even realize it. We're not conscious of it. And, you know, I've talked about playing the game, right? You go into a store and you just notice all of the different ways that you shift and feel, because bringing that awareness to the moment with all of the shifting helps us to go, oh God, so much of this is, I would go food shopping and come out like wiped. And I'm like, it's just food shopping, Jen. Like, you should be fine. You know, the shoulds. You should be fine. Why can't you just go food shopping? Like, what is wrong with you? Right? That, like, the things that we do to ourselves, because we beat ourselves up when we don't have that understanding.
Yeah.
Until it was like, wait a minute. I just went into this store. I was just around however many people that were going through a million different things. And as we start to learn, as you were saying, that like, oh, I pick this stuff up, right? Then it was like, oh, I'm curious now. So I would take my internal temperature. Like, how am I feeling? Okay, I think I'm good to go to the store at home before I've even left.
Yeah.
Right? Checking that out. Okay, I walked out the door. How am I feeling? Okay, there's been a little shift, but that's okay. Right? Get in the car. There's times I got to a point once I understood this where I'd drive into the parking lot and be like, not today, Jen, off we go. And I'd go home. I'd be like, I'll come back another day.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But we get to learn that for ourselves, the more that we pay attention to what we're picking up in different places. And again, it doesn't mean we're always going to be cognizant of it, but the more that we do pay attention to it, the easier it becomes to catch it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Melanie says her aneurysm left her with executive function issues. I'm sorry. Before then, I managed a staff of 30 people. Yeah. I did that as well, and that is part of what got me into burnout. That's a lot of people. I've heard, like, you know, we shouldn't be more than 15 to 20 as direct reports, right? I mean, if you've got other supervisors in there, then you're probably okay. But anyway, that's just what I've heard. So
yeah,
I'm getting worse at being in public.
Yeah.
I just did that yesterday.
Yeah.
It is difficult. I know that on Saturday I was good all day, and then I got to a point and went, okay, my social battery's done. I'm done. I need to go now. I was surprised at how sudden it was for me. It was like, I guess I had been having a good time with everything else, and it was like, and I was like, oh, okay. Time to move on.
Good for you, though, for listening to it. Right? Yeah. I think that's the bigger piece, too. Again, that part of us that goes, oh, what will people think? I go, what will that, you know, what's expected of me? As opposed to, had fun. See you later.
Part of it was I was the last speaker of the day. So I had to focus on that until I got through that. And then I was okay for a little bit. And then it was like, okay, that's it. And I think that's why it was so sudden for me, because normally I can pick up and try and head out a little earlier. But I think I was focused on the other stuff.
Yeah.
Cody says he's been very isolated lately. Signed up for jiu-jitsu. Lovely.
Nice. Nice.
Excellent. I woke up yesterday and was already done with the day. Yeah.
Yeah. That happens sometimes too.
Absolutely. There's days I don't want to get out of bed. Yeah. I used to do things like that a lot as a kid, so I figured I'd get back out there. Yeah. And just do the tubing, Cody, before you go. If you're doing it in person.
Jiu-jitsu, you gotta do that in person. You're like, you know.
Oh, true. Yeah.
I mean, you can try. Maybe you're, you know, I don't think my dogs would roll with me, but
I don't know, maybe they would.
Not safely for me.
More like cuddle time than that. Yeah. It's a good idea.
Doing what you need to do to protect yourself as you go into it, to protect your energy and all of that, and right, and setting that intention too, right? I'm going to connect with the energies that are meant for me, and everything else I can leave at the door.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, it's so rare that if somebody does something that it's about us. But if we do something, it's about us. You know, personal accountability is part of leading with love. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I haven't tried jujitsu. That's not something I've ever tried. I actually haven't done a lot of martial arts. I've done a little bit of Tai Chi, but I have not done martial arts overall.
I mean, depending on what you're interested in, there's so many that are really like great to do. Tai Chi, Wing Chun, and Kali Sikron are probably my faves. But
and Qigong, I've heard good things about that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it comes to storing energy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Oops. No, that one, this one. Yeah, that is our receiving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome.
Nice.
Let's see. That's the only one around me.
Oh yeah. I mean, you go with what's there. I'm surprised though at online class, maybe just for forms, because you definitely can't roll with anybody online. But
no, but definitely, like, it depends on which kind you're doing. Because like Tai Chi, for sure, it's just
absolutely
internal, or not internal, but your form. So individual is what I was trying to think of.
I remember doing Tai Chi years ago, Copper 2, very cool. And there wasn't any Qigong around, but when I did the Wing Chun, but they're very closely associated in terms of that storing the Qi energy and holding space for the very like precise and small movements that are quite powerful.
Oh, this one's in person. Yeah. So tubing would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It definitely did on the weekend.
Yeah.
Twice.
Important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed. So what's some of your favorite pastimes, you guys? We've been talking about, Qigong, Tai Chi.
Mm-hmm.
Some of your other pastimes. My pleasure. Music. Mm-hmm. Playing, singing, listening. All of that can be good.
Absolutely.
Singing really expresses energy, so that can be really great.
Yeah, singing, humming is great for the nervous system.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Nalani plays video games.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Cody, music.
Yep.
I don't know what I do. What do I do, Jen? I listen to
crystals, create things.
Yeah, I like to create. So
turn the hot tub into holy water.
Oh, that I do. Yeah. I think I could use a little soak in the hot tub. Soak in the hot holy water is what I need.
Yeah, yeah.
Nalani play piano.
Nice.
Awesome. Kiara likes visiting places with history. My dad used to take me places when I was young. Nice. Just made a new song. It's on my page. Remixed a song with Alan Watts. Lovely.
Oh, very cool.
Nice. Nalani does alchemy. Now, is this kitchen witchery or is it, what kind of alchemy are we talking?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, play and listen. Being in nature.
Yeah.
My son's into games, so that doesn't mix. Yeah. You got to compromise.
I don't know. I found Pokemon Go to be really great for that with my youngin.
True. You can do both then.
We'd load up the Pokemon and then off we'd go into nature and see what Pokemon we could find.
Yeah. It's pretty cool when it's holy water, I have to tell you. It's tingly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And very clearing,
Yeah.
which is good. We need that.
Yeah.
I don't have a bathtub, so I have the hot tub instead.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. It was a good. Yeah, I can't put anything in it, so that's why it's nice to be able to make the holy water and do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
He got tired of Pokemon. It's all about the Minecraft and Fortnite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that happens sometimes too.
It does. Yeah. Awesome.
Good. Well, those things are so important. And when we, do find that we're out and about and we're picking up the energy and all that kind of stuff, having those tools at our disposal to be able to decompress, discharge the energy that we've picked up, allow ourselves to recharge, regroup, bringing that forward.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What have you got going on this week? I did the speaking thing. What have you got going?
Well, last week was a really busy week for shows.
Yes.
The one with Gerald, and then the one with Kaylee for the cards. But this week, I don't think I have any other shows on the go. No. Next week, there's some recording stuff and Twillow, but that is it. The things that I have on the go are the ongoing. So if you're subscribed, you will get the weekly energy updates, which talk about the human design transit. They talk about the mind calendar and the moon phases. So you get kind of an overall energy update for what that looks like. And then the Mystic Monday message is just a moment of grounding and exercise to bring us back in the midst of the energies that we have. And so I have that one ready and I'll pop it on YouTube just after the show today. So those are out every week. And then on the Facebook is the daily energy updates, which I've gotten some really good feedback for. So those are there if you're interested in them. The other thing that I was working on, and it's in its beta phase right now, is actually tracking our biorhythms and ways to do that. There's apps out there that just show you the biorhythms, but this gives you some journaling and meditative practices and things like that based on where you're at any given moment. So it's totally free to check out. And it's, like I said, in beta mode. So I'm going to see, I think it's going to be up for a little bit, and then I have to decide what I want to do with it. So any feedback is obviously welcomed in terms of knowing kind of if it's worth pursuing and continuing with or not.
Very cool.
I'll give you guys the site for that just so that you can check it out.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Hopefully that goes through. It went through on the YouTube pages. If you guys are on Facebook, which most everybody's on YouTube today, but if you happen to be catching this on Facebook, you just scroll through the page and you'll find it.
Yeah, I think the YouTubes that we had on got kicked at the beginning of the show. So, or not YouTubes, I'm sorry, Facebook.
Oh.
The Facebook ones, yeah. We had gotten them through, but they have little exclamation points around them right now.
Oh, they don't on mine. StreamYard is being so bizarre.
It's
being so bizarre. I don't even know what to say, but I'm glad you guys found us on YouTube.
it is what it is.
It's pretty wild.
Thank you for watching for us and
Mm-hmm.
coming out to share energy and have conversation. It's always lovely to have you.
Yep.
So.
It really is. It's, yeah. I mean, like we said, it's authentic communication. So we're going to have chats anyway. So it's really nice to have you guys share them with us.
Absolutely. So I'm still working on that glyph thing. So that's one of my big projects, and I've got so you stay tuned for that. You'll probably have some stuff come out about that, and still on the new website. We're working on that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice. Hopefully by the beginning of July, I'm hoping.
Yay! It's beautiful.
Fingers crossed. And yeah, what else am I working on? I don't know. Those are good for now. Anything else I'm not quite ready to share yet, but those are getting to the point where we can share them soon. So I actually started the Twillow Times, which is weekly newsletter that's coming out as well. So those of you that are on the list will have gotten it today at noon-ish, depending on where you are. Noon Eastern, so that, different times, different time zones. But
very cool.
That's a good way to keep up with what's happening. And I don't know that I have anything else that's like public this week. I don't think so. Got lots of classes this week, which is fun.
Classes are good.
Yeah. Did you have our home play?
I do. I got Take a Breath.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Take a deep breath. Okay, so here we go. You have been holding your breath, grandchild. It is time to fill your lungs with life-giving air and become one with the sacred elements. Expand your chest. Take a moment and breathe deeply. In, out. Your breath is one with the breath of life. Have you noticed that your breathing occurs whether you think about it or not? This perfect breathing system keeps you alive on your earth walk and connects you with your spirit. Breathe. Focus your attention on the gentle in and out of your breath. How does it feel? Slow your breath down to the count of 5 for both the inhale and exhale. Notice how life breathes you. Give over to this gentle, balanced cycle. Receive the stillness of the sacred feminine as it emerges with every conscious breath. Can you feel the stillness? Fill your mind and body. Create space within your lungs and give gratitude for life. When you enter the sacred feminine space of stillness and gratitude, you open to life and remember your communion with creation.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
So take a deep breath.
In through the nose and out through the mouth. What is it Jacqueline says? Put your shoulders up, roll them back.
Drop them down.
Drop them down. That's Jacqueline Richards.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Do you have anything more you'd like to add today?
I think that is it.
All right. So thank you all again for joining us, and we appreciate you coming and hanging out with us each week. Come back next week. We have a guest on next week, so we're going to keep it a surprise. So, so you have to watch to find out. So subscribe, right? Like and subscribe, please, so that we have those, and then you'll know when we're coming on. All right. And I hope that you all have a wonderful week. Final thoughts?
Breathe and really allow yourself to work on the filter. If there's a filter there, just notice it. Notice what's coming up. Take a moment, take a breath. The energy this week invites stillness, so it's a great opportunity to do that.
Very much. And as usual, lead with love. And we'll see you next week. Take care now.